Hi everyone, it's me, Aubrey. First of all, I have to tell you I got a tripod for Christmas that holds my phone. And so I'm used to just kind of propping my phone up wherever, and now I have this thing where I can frame it just how I want it and everything, and I feel very fabulous. Yeah, so my husband got it on Amazon, by the way. It was only like 20 bucks. So, oh, and it's also a selfie stick. So if you are friends with me on Facebook, you can find me first name Aubrey, second name in Wonderland. You might be seeing some more selfies or better group photos and stuff soon. So I'm having fun with it. I've never had anything like that before, so I'm having fun with it. Just want to bring you an update. My surgery is going to be sometime the end of February, it looks like, at St. Charles Medical Center in Bend, Oregon with Dr. Stephen Archer. I have, last time I brought you an update, I kind of told you everything I had coming up in the month. So I've been to all of my visits I told you about. I got the ultrasound for my C-section scar, and I don't have any kind of problems with that they were able to see, so that's good. No hernias, no problem at all. So, and then I went to support group on the 15th, and that was good. There's just something about being with people from your area that are seeing the same doctor or a doctor nearby. They're just kind of, you know, real life buddies, not just virtual buddies. So that's good. Went to see my dietitian on the 17th, and I lost weight again. I'm super excited about that. So I'll let you know where I am. My high weight was 288. My starting weight was 272, and my current weight is 263. And on my last video, I think it was my last video, I said something like I've only lost 3 pounds. That's an interesting subject because I talked about it in my therapy appointment with the psychologist. Talked about why do I feel that I'm doing so terrible when I've actually done well. I'm doing the correct, I'm, choosing the right behaviors, and maybe I've, not done perfect, or I struggle in certain areas, but whereas before 9 times out of 10 I was making the wrong food choices, now 8 times out of 10 I'm making the right food choices. So obviously there's going to be a physical response to choosing good behaviors. So that was kind of interesting. And speaking of my therapy appointment, one of the notes that I had made to share with you, of course I have my notes, is just talking to her about why I don't believe that I've done well when I actually have. And she said that, believe it or not, which you probably can believe it if you're anything like me, that our brains are kind of hardwired to be critical thinkers. So we may not always notice the good first. Our brain is kind of hardwired to notice the bad first. And she said, you don't have to believe every thought your brain has. You don't have to believe everything your brain says. And I just thought that was really interesting. So anytime you just have one of those fleeting thoughts, like, you really do have to retrain your brain so that you're not constantly barraging yourself with this negative self-talk. Oh, well, you've always failed before, why wouldn't you fail again? Or, oh, this always happens and then I never get back on the wagon, blah, blah, blah. I am so guilty of that. So I'm going to work on that. So I have lost 9 out of the 12 pounds that I'm required to lose before surgery. So that means I have roughly 2 months, maybe more like 6 weeks, to get off another 3 pounds. Comfortably, I'd like to say at least 5 pounds, maybe 6, just so I don't constantly have to be fearful that I'm not going to quite make that benchmark. I also wanted to show you something that my dietitian gave me. A couple things. First thing is healthy snack ideas. If you're on a pre-op diet, not the immediately pre-op, you just have to follow whatever your doctor says, but if you're just trying to lose your 5% or whatever it is before you go in for surgery, these are really good tips. Also, she gave me, it's called Basics Training Pre-Weight Loss Surgery Behavior Change Goal Sheet. So I'm still working on taking small bites, chewing food 20 times a bite, put your fork down between bites, don't drink with meals. That's going to be a hard one. It doesn't, you know, initially when I first started on this journey, it didn't feel like it was going to be super difficult. That didn't really like stick out to me as something that I would find challenging, but I think that one's going to be tough. So I got to work on that. Limit snacks to 2 per day. Drinking at least 64 ounces of a no-calorie fluid each day. Begin regular physical activity. I promised her that by the time I saw her next, I would be on a regular exercise regimen, which I'll tell you about in just a little bit. So anyway, so I thought that was might be helpful to you too. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Got to spend lots of time with friends and family. I did. I had an extremely I just had a really great Christmas. Got together with my dad and his fiance and had lots and lots of family time. And of course we were blessed with being able to give each other gifts and things like that. It was just a really fun, good quality time. Food-wise, Christmas was a beast. I was really worried about Thanksgiving, as you probably saw in some of my previous videos, because, you know, Christmas, you've got presents and activities and decorating and lights and blah, blah, blah. And Thanksgiving is mainly you celebrate through food. But you know, the truth is in around here, I guess it's not that way everywhere, but it kind of has a reputation. You know, Christmas is also very food centric. So here I was so worried about Thanksgiving, and it didn't end up being too bad. Went to my sister-in-law's house, and she didn't have a lot of really bad for you stuff out all the time, and she didn't have all the appetizers and stuff like that I thought were really going to be a hang up for me. Christmas was hard in that way, and I have no one to blame but myself because Christmas was here. So I just felt, you know, like I should, you know, I always do sugar cookies, and it's like, well, I shouldn't have just sugar cookies. So I baked banana bread and pumpkin bread and all sorts of different goodies to have around, and we had cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised I'm not in a diabetic coma right now, but and then of course, you know, you start a couple days before Christmas, and then after Christmas it's like, well, you know, it's the new year, I should, you know, live it up while I can. So anyway, that was difficult. So I'm getting back in the saddle. Gonna start making some better choices. So, but overall, I'm doing all right. As far as how I'm doing in the whole pre-op process, I am really worried about one thing, and it's what I call the, in my mind, it kind of comes up as the Achilles heel of this whole process, because I have been, I mean, I know I'm not perfect with all my food choices and things like that, but as far as like checking off the list, I have been just to the T, done everything I'm supposed to do, never missed an appointment, never rescheduled an appointment, was always early in my appointments, all that. But if I had to point to one thing that I think might be my weak spot, that would be my CPAP machine. It was a fairly new thing to me before I had pursued weight loss surgery, and it was actually one of the things that pushed me to pursue it. CPAP is just not one of those things I'm prepared to live with. I really struggle with it. So, yeah, I have not been using it, and I was, I don't know if anybody's checked out the Thinner Times forum. It's just thinnertimes.com, and you can look at the forums and just see what other people are doing. It's just another avenue to check out, and be around other weight loss surgery patients. Anyway, some people have talked about on there how, you know, they went for approval and they were denied because they hadn't been using their CPAP machine regularly, and they had to have 2 straight weeks or 2 straight months or 4 straight weeks or whatever before their insurance would cover them. So looking at the calendar for going in for approval, I'm like 6 weeks out from that, and I haven't been using it at all. So I started last night, and I'm committed. I'm going to be using it for a minimum of 4 hours every night, which is what my insurance requires. So I don't want anything to get in the way. You know, everybody has those last second things that pop up when they go for approval, and if anything were going to pop up for me, I just know it would be that CPAP. So I gotta do that. Also, another thing going on for me is I have joined a gym. So last time I talked to you, I kind of had a problem with my foot, the plantar fasciitis, and then my knee was acting up. That's another thing that worries me as well, is my knee. They're sending me for an MRI. It took like 3 weeks to get the approval from my insurance company to do the MRI, which worries me for my surgery if they're going to be super slow like that. But the gym, I can do, what can I do? I don't even go to the gym. I don't know what the gym has. I've had memberships over the years and stuff, but I can do I can do cycling. I wouldn't really want to do anything that's like super high impact. So yeah, there's things I can do, but I'm excited about that. The company I work for actually paid for the membership for all of us office staff, and we have meetings on Fridays to see, you know, how many times we worked out, and if we're using the membership, and how our workouts are going. He even actually said, I'm on salary, so I don't have to worry about time off or whatever, but he even said if there was a class that was happening during the day, during my regular working hours, that I could even take the time off to go to the class and then come back to work. But he also said I could have 2 weeks off from my surgery paid. So I'm just so grateful for that kind of support, and I'm excited to get going on the gym. My husband actually bought me a gym bag, and I have my workout clothes. I bought a new shirt, and I already had some pants and stuff, and I have my whole bag packed and in the back seat of my car. So I'm that much closer to actually going. So that'll be neat. So anyway, okay, so also one last thing. actually two things. I have two last things. First is one of my very, very close friends was here over Christmas, and she comes up every 3 months to visit, and she does hair, and she brings her kids up to visit their dad and stuff. And so she sees me every 3 months. And so this is only the second time she's seen me since I decided to go forward with the surgery. And she just was like, "You've changed." She's like, "I can see this determination," just little things she's seen in me. But yeah, she's seen changes in me, and that's neat. You know, I'm not waiting for this surgery to start making changes. Just in my personality, the way that I handle relationships, just things like that. Things that I wear now, like I'm wearing more color now, whereas before I would have stuck to all black. And I think part of it is just knowing, hey, you know what, I may not like the way I look today, but you know, 3 months from now, I'm going to like the way I look a lot better. And so I'm just going to live for the moment. Carpe diem, right? Okay, and then one last thing. And I'm sorry, this is such a long video. Is why do our YouTube videos, I'm hoping it's not just me, but when I upload a new YouTube video, it has the most heinous, ugly screenshot. I don't know how it finds it. I think I make a pretty pleasant resting face most of the time, but then my screenshots, when it, you know, shows the little thumbnail of your video, it's usually like, is it just me? Or is it, you know, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay, well, hopefully I didn't forget anything, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Have a good day. Bye.